What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Um, yeah, hope you guys are having a good day. Um, Again, I'm scripted on whatever, so I don't even know how I'm gonna start. Don't even know where I'm gonna start from. Just had a conversation with one of our friends, and they asked me why I was single, and I said because I'm broke, and obviously not in those exact words. It was a bit more of an elaborate conversation, but I'm just summarizing. I said I'm broke, and they were like, that doesn't stop you from, you know, getting into a relationship and then getting yourself sorted out while you're in a relationship. And the reason why I say, I'm single because I'm broke is because in the past, to be honest with you, I've hurt enough girls in my life. It's all right. I don't need to, hurt anybody else. So I try as much as possible to try not to, even though it can still happen anyway. To avoid that happening. So I don't just jump into anything. Because yeah, if you jump in, I don't want to jump in then jump out. If I jump in, I want to stay in. And people say, yeah, you can choose to stay in. Yeah, you can just stay in because you choose to. But I don't believe um, if you believe you're not supposed to be there, you should stay in because you choose to. And sometimes we're unsure if we're meant to be there, or we're unsure if it's the right place to be in with that person before we jump in. So, um, you know, we're in for a bit more clarity and surety before I start making those kind of moves. Um, but on the other note, in terms of the money, um, in past relationships, when you get into a relationship, um, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot of attention, um, and I mean the other person, giving the person time, effort, and attention, and so on and so forth, which obviously takes effort, time, and attention from other things in life. So many a times I have put so much emphasis, time, and attention into relationships that other things have been damaged because of that. Such as academics. I mean, how many people do you know out there that messed uni up or messed up some sort of educational or academic ladder or platform because of a relationship they were in or a relationship they were around? How many people do you know that their relationships with their parents or their families damaged because of, you know, spending too much time with us? They don't want to submit to their parents because they've got such a desire to rebel, to be with somebody, or to go somewhere with somebody, and so on and so forth. Um, and I realized that for me, it might be different from other people, but at this moment in time, a relationship is more of a distraction than an asset. Unless the person obviously is an asset to me as a friend already, then a relationship shouldn't be a distraction. But a lot of the time, even though the person could be already a friend with you, as soon as you switch that relationship switch, it's like things change a lot. I know many people said that when you get into a relationship with friends, the friendship is never the same. Many people have said that. And obviously, because once you cross that line, sometimes people kind of change. Once desire kicks in, once a certain level of desire pops in, people kind of like become somebody else. And all of a sudden, you start arguing about things that you never argued about before. But obviously, because that level of desire that's kicked in, that's made them want to be with you, um, it does it to a lot of us. Clouds our vision, clouds our rationale, clouds our decisions, and controls our actions and movements. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that today. Um, Proverbs 24, verse 27, I believe. And it says, prepare your work outside, get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house. Now, for all those who know about Solomon was the wise man in it. Solomon was the guy man. Well, not really. Yeah. Anyway, Solomon was a wise man, and that scripture is quite sensible. It's quite straightforward. It's quite plain. Prepare your work outside, get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house. So obviously, farmers back in them days, it's the field, it's their field that fed their house. It's the field that fed them. They'd grow stuff in the field. It was like that was their business. They'd grow stuff in the field. They'd sell it, make money. Maintain their house. Or it's from the animals and from the what do you call it, that they grew, from the animals and from the um whatever whatever they grew, corn or whatever, the vegetables that they grew, that they ate, or they traded with somebody else for something else that they wanted to eat. So it's like they had the way to maintain their house. They had it in place. That's what the verse is saying. Have the way to maintain your house in place before you build your house. You don't build your house, then start trying to work out, okay, how am I going to maintain this house? How am I going to feed the people in this house? How am I going to blah, 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 blah. But you have your plan and you prepare, then you build your house. Now, that verse really stuck out to me. To be honest with you, it was pointed out to me by the man of God, my spiritual father at church. When I sat down to talk to him about marriage and so on and so forth, and he was saying to me, well, yeah, maybe you know things spiritually, maybe you know, emotionally you're stable, but what's that? Are you gonna marry somebody and then turn around and what, move into your mom's house? It's almost like emotional. We see a lot of young people get married these days. I'm 24. This year, a lot of people got married that I know of, and everyone's always like, oh yeah, when's my time? When's my time? And I've spoken to a lot of my brothers and asked them, how much do you have in the bank, fam? When's your time back? How much do you have in the bank? You know, um, a lot of guys, are being pressured into get relationships. As from what I'm hearing, a lot of Christian girls are wondering why guys are taking so long. Christian guys, why you want this long thing? Start somewhere, blah 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 blah. Sorry, I don't listen to that. I'm not listening to Christian girls. Not just not. I love my sisters, but wow, I'm not listening to that because um, our brothers, the guys, are not being encouraged to actively prepare for their homes. You know, um, how many guys have actually found out how much it's going to cost for a wedding? Guys don't know. How many guys know how much it's going to cost, to mortgage a house, or if you're going to rent with your wife? How much is that going to cost? How much is food going to cost? These are the realistic things that guys need to be thinking about. But I don't think anyone's really talking about it. I haven't really been to any um seminars, relationship seminars, where they mention anything to do with the actual maintenance of the relationships in a financial sense. It's always, praying to God for the right spouse, which is obviously sensible. How to abstain, which is obviously sensible as well. They're very important things. But if you're not planning, you'll be abstaining forever because you, you never have enough money to actually get the wedding done and live together. Um, Another scripture I'd like to show you. This one blew me away, man. First Corinthians 5, verse 8. Now, for the first couple of verses, I believe, I think for the whole book actually, Paul is talking to Timothy and telling Timothy and them at the church how to handle things, and he's talking about here. He's talking about looking after the widows. Um, but then he says in verse 8, but if anyone does not provide for his relatives and especially for the members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. In a nutshell, if you don't provide for your family, you're a waste man. In a nutshell, innit? I mean, to be regarded as worse than an unbeliever to the faith, wow, it's a wrap. So it's like I don't know how many, if your church is teaching you, if your church has got a men's ministry and they're teaching you, they're talking about these things, I salute your church and I clap for them because that is on point. But it's rare, and if I'm totally honest with myself, I've never heard anybody, well, apart from when the bishop at my church sat down and spoke to me about it. I've never really heard anybody mentioning or talk about it on any kind of platform. Um, in everyone else's defense, I don't really read books, so maybe it's in books, and I just don't know. I have read a book about leadership by this Ghanaian man on point. I can't remember what it's called now, Called to Leaders, or like that. And it's about being leaders and leaders in the family, and he mentions it. He talks about planning and actually having having some finances in place. So when I said I was single because I was broke, I didn't mean because um, I need the money to have the relationship. But I believe that before I start getting excited about all the other parts of it, I want to have a foundation in the financial side at least, you know. So what I've done is I've opened an ISA account, and I'm trying to put some money in the ISA account every month, so that I'm saving up for my future. I'm saving up for my future. A lot of guys are spending bucket loads of money on girlfriends that they break up with 2 months later, and it's like you could have put that in the bank. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy presents for people, but you know there ones where you could have blatantly bought her A, which cost X amount, but you bought her B, which cost double, just to sort of, you know. I don't know. Some girls will be like, no, but it's nice to spend it. Yeah, but to be honest with you, if she's not gonna marry you, just wasting that extra is just a waste. Really, it's not necessary. Um, so I, I'm talking to guys, in particular, because I am a strong believer of men being, the breadwinners and the leaders in the household. I'm not saying that a woman can't help, or I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about being housewives now, because I don't need any of that complications here. Um, my nose is itching me. Sorry, but what I am referring to is, you know, a woman's a woman usually leaves her mother and father's house to go to her husband's house. Now, the husband needs to be prepared. Simply, that's what I'm saying. She's gonna leave her mom and dad's house to come to your house. You need to be prepared. Don't make her leave her mom and dad's house. And this is something that I'm taking on board myself. So this is why, to be honest with you, I'm not rushing into a relationship. Because if I rush into a relationship, I have less time to prepare um, for the future. And some people will be like, well, you can do both. No, 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 get out of here, man. I know what I'm talking about. I haven't got time to argue with people. You can do both. Some people in relationships, but not everybody can do both. And obviously, because don't want to get, don't want to get controversial, but I know a lot of girls like security, so that's why they prefer just to have the man say, they prefer that title and that situation there and in place, and then he can go and make all the money he wants, just as long as they know that and they're secure that he's there. Um, but then as soon as that security is in place, obligations get placed on you automatically. Um, you know, time, time and attention, important things to a lot of women, and to a lot of men as well. So it's difficult to sort of put that in place and say, yeah, we're going to get married, and then deduct time and attention. It's going to be quite epic. Um, so to be honest with you, I believe it's necessary for me to, and my mark is 3 grand. When I've got 3 grand in my bank account, 3 grand not pay, 3 grand saved, in my ISA account, then I know, okay, now you're in a better position to be, giving all that fancy talk, because now your talk can be backed by something. You can't be telling the girl, I want to marry you, and this and that, and I want us to take it further, and blah 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 blah, and you have zero in your bank account. So it's like, bro, you're talking about, you want to take it further in another 4 or 5 years, unless, you're basically gonna get a job that's, 5 figure salary and not eat every month to save up for a year and then hop into marriage or something. But no, it's not. We don't have to rush. Like, I'm not saying we should take forever, but let's prioritize and put things in place as they go along. Shout out to Happy walking in while I'm doing my blog. But yeah, let's put things in place and let's prioritize. Let's, brothers, I'm gonna say this to you, and I know I'm gonna get told off for saying it, but please don't listen to the sisters. Please, half of them don't know what they're talking about. They want to know about how you feel, and they want to know, what they want to know where this is going, and do they ask their friends that? Where's this going? Where's this going, Susie? No, they don't ask their friends that, but they want to ask you. I'm not saying, give girls the cold shoulder and send girls away, but then don't focus on that, please. Beg of you, because the day that she wants to do her hair, you're married, yeah. The day that she wants to do your hair, and you've been splitting costs, and you tell her, oh, I can't, oh no, no. The day that she's meant to give you half of the phone bill because you guys decided to split costs. You decide to be equal and split costs. The day that she says, oh, I can't pay the phone bill this month, I need to do my hair. And you're saying, you did your hair already? She says, yeah, but there's something next week and I need to do it again, so I can't, I can't give that money. And you say, but, and she says, wait, are you not the man though? that's the day that you'll realize I was right. Oh, Sayo was right. Like, don't ever give your wife the opportunity to remind you or to throw that "Are you the man" card at you. Aren't you the man card? It's a painful card. I was talking to my boy Triple O one time on the phone, and and we were like, them ones where is it not her dad that walked her down the aisle, not the other way around? You know, nobody walked me down the aisle. She was brought to you. We were saying because your wife's going to be brought to you down the aisle. It's your responsibility to make sure that everything is in place and everything is okay. So I'm not talking about um, you know, um, running away from girls. I'm more talking about focusing more on preparing for that house. Preparing for the house. And as you can see, it's biblical. I'm not talking rubbish here. I'm not saying something that's just like, no, God doesn't want that. I've just shown you two scriptures. You know, one that blatantly says, if you don't look after your household, yeah. And then the other one that says, wisdom from Solomon, that you should prepare in the field before you build your house. So brothers, let's prepare in the field. Sisters as well, prepare in the field for those who want to help in the house, and they want to bring some sort of substance and financial substance to the house. By all means, prepare as well. Prepare as well. And if you have a boyfriend, ask him how much do you have in the bank for the future, babes. Ask him, baby, how much is in the bank for the future? How much are you? Well, actually, I don't want to get any guys in trouble. Actually, no. Actually, no. I don't mind. Guys, you should have your game up. You should be prepared for those questions. How much do you have in the bank for your future? Or at least ask him if he's saving. He might not want to tell you how much he's got, but at least ask him if he's saving. And if he's not saving, encourage him to save. Encourage him to save. Them days where he wants to take you out for no reason. You went out yesterday. He wants to take you out again. You don't have to go out, do you? You don't. Say to him, you know what? Put that in your savings. The money you're gonna spend, put it in the ISA. You know. Um. Yeah. I probably caused some trouble today, but oh well. Have a great day, guys.